Well, here is a new one to start your day off that I'm sure you didn't see coming, because this kind of stuff doesn't usually happen anymore. But IGN has offered an official apology for that IGN France article that came out, what was it, last week, where they went after Stellar Blade and said that the game was all about trying to please the male gaze, and that this game was like somehow offensive Asian people because of some doll stereotype that the character reflects. It was a dumb article, and IGN, rightfully so, got a ton of backlash. I guess it was so bad that they actually went, and I haven't seen this done in a long time for something like this. They actually went and changed the article. They took out, I believe they took out the male gaze line, and they took out the sex doll line, which was pretty interesting. And then they issued a formal apology to Shift Up, the developer of Stellar Blade, which was wild to see. Recently, IGN France produced and published a preview of Stellar Blade containing an offensive passage that should have never been included. The text has now been modified, and here's our official apology to the staff at Shift Up Corporation. And they say, please note that IGN France is an independent branch of IGN, and IGN's editorial staff had nothing to do with this incident. Well, you still own them. The home branch rules all. So IGN France is reflective of your organization. I think that these journalists here are starting to see what's going on and the fan movement behind this game, and I think there is one. I think this game is going to be a success. Putting that demo out was smart because it's shown people that the game is actually pretty solid. It's not just a pretty face. So the default for a lot of these gaming weirdos in journalism is to attack something like this. Even though, if this was a dude and he was shirtless, they would write articles gushing over that character, just like they did over Leon S. Kennedy during Resident Evil 4, when the remake was coming out. There was all kinds of thirst articles over him. It's hypocrisy, because they can write that shit and turn men into sexual objects and stuff like that for the female gaze. But anything that's made pleasing to men, they quickly dismiss it and attack the shit out of it. So now they're trying to shift the narrative, as Grums points out here, trying to act like, they've always loved games like Bayonetta and Stellar Blade, even though they don't. They never like stuff like that, because it's okay to have good-looking, toned-up, muscle-bound men in games, but to have an attractive, slender, well-shaped woman, nice booty and chest in a game, and they go wild and attack the hell out of it. There's a history of this, and they can try to cover that up. That's one of the reasons why they're now starting to shift the narrative and say they've always liked these kinds of things, when they haven't, and we can call them out with mountains of evidence. Some of them still buck the trend, though. This person right here, I believe, works for Kotaku. Oh, no, The Verge, I believe. Reached out and said, I would love to actually talk with people I disagree with, but most of them are just racist and sexist. I reached out and said, come on my show. I mean, we've had people on before that obviously we disagree with. Had that Director X guy on Flashcast. It went fine. I wouldn't say, we're best friends or anything, but he came on the show and it was fine. Nobody attacked him. I mean, the show itself was fine, but they're never going to come on. I would have this person on my Saturday live stream. There was another journalist that was talking about wanting to talk to people. That person is welcome to come on as well, but they won't. But Grum says here, IGN and trash reporters are desperate to revise history and claim they always loved Bayonetta. and that Stellar Blade is such a horrible problem now. We see you. After gamers make Stellar Blade a hit, these people will claim they always loved Eve. They lie and lie. And then here's this person. There's a subtle but important distinction between empowering sexuality, a la Bayonetta, and male gaze ass and titties sexually. So this is the weird thing about this. The character is based on a real woman. Okay. I mean, it's not catering to anything. This is the weird, bizarro world that we're in now. Like, society is trying to make women that look like Eve from Stellar Blade, which exist, and they're real, ashamed of themselves. They're trying to make them ashamed from themselves. And a lot of it's coming from, male feminists and other women. And other women can do the most, as much as they want to go after men and attack men all the time. Men are usually pretty nice to women. The ones that do the most damage to other women are women. Women fight and claw each other all the time, and they do it nastily. Very nasty when they do it. They get real nasty. And the emotional damage they do on women is, in some ways, sometimes, it's not that it's worse than physical abuse, but I would argue that the long-term damage is just as bad, if not worse, than the physical stuff. Either in any case, it's at least on par. And I almost think that they do this because they want women like that to gain weight or let themselves go, to kind of get rid of that body type so that these more unattractive people can raise their stock value. Just speculating there. But regardless, women do tear other women down. And that's what this kind of is in a lot of ways. That's why you see a lot of these gaming women journalists come out and attack these games, just like Anita Sarkeesian did here when she attacked Bayonetta. This has been floating around. I'm not going to play the whole clip. I'm sure it's been played to death, but she's attacking Bayonetta and how she looks here. There's a history of this shit. So you're seeing stuff like this. You're making me embarrassed to like Stellar Blade. Stop pointing out that our outlets like The Gamer have a history of dunking on this, and the only reason we're not dunking on it now is because everybody would point it out and laugh at us, and we look stupid because this game is going to sell so well. Here's another one from Reforge Gaming. Anyone else starting to feel awkward about liking Stellar Blade? The public discourse and perception is becoming a bit weird. Well, that's because you people made it weird by demonizing characters that look like this. And the only reason you're not doing it now full force, and I still suspect they will when the game gets closer to coming out, what it is they don't want people talking about it and hyping this game up. So they're trying to make it awkward now to discuss the fact that this character looks good. And all these other Western studios put out dog shit looking characters like that Mary Jane in Spider-Man 2 and the Fable 3 trailers woman that I don't even know if that's a woman, to be honest. They don't want that conversation blowing up like it is. So they're trying to stop it. And what they don't want to happen is the word of mouth to push this game and sell really good. If this game explodes out of the gate and sells really good, these people are going to have an insane meltdown because we can't have that. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. I'd like to hear from you in the comments. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.